Dream to teach and to inspire the next generations. I feel good to sit among young people and to tell them stories about life, stories about how to succeed and be pragmatic. I'm Christiana Grozdanova and I'm Young Atlanticist delegate. And those words do not belong to me. They belong to the person I'm about to present. He is not a politician, although he could naturally be one. He is a practitioner as well as a visionary who placed Bulgaria on the map of global business. He was initially appointed as a Minister of Regional Development in the present government. Thanks to the result achieved in the long-delayed infrastructure projects, he emerged as the most popular minister in the cabinet. Today, as a President of the Republic of Bulgaria, he is working on a long-term development plans for the country. He put on the top of his agenda growth based on education, innovation, and high-tech infrastructure. He also remained firmly committed to strengthen and deepen the political dialogue with the Alliance and its partners. Your Excellencies, ladies and gentlemen, friends, it's my honor to welcome on stage the President of the Republic of Bulgaria, Mr. Rosen Plevneliev.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you so much, dear young friends, dear young leaders. I just left, there is a wonderful table over there with a lot of presidents sitting on both sides of the table, but I was the only lucky of all the presidents and prime ministers to leave the table and join you. And I'm really honored that I had the opportunity. So these guys there, they will finish what they started, and Bulgaria is also very well presented there. But I thank you for the opportunity to talk to you, to be with you, and of course I'm so grateful that I can address you today with the brief words about what we are doing in the region, what is Bulgaria doing, but also what is NATO going to do. I'm also happy to see so many young, bright fellows here. And I was about, and I got the option to choose between the existing presidents and the future ones. I've chosen to be with you. You are the future presidents of the world, and I wish you success. So, this event today, the NATO Summit in Chicago, is of course an outstanding event, very significant and important. To me personally, I am a new kid on the block. That my first visit, that my first participation in a NATO summit, I was elected as a president 4 months ago. And as you know, every politician has its 100 days to start a lot of initiatives, to show, and of course then to report what he did, what he started, where is he going. So just after having my 100 days behind me, I'm very optimistic that we started good projects. They make sense for my country, for our family. We're motivated, we'll work hard. And I'm sure that we will be proud of what we are going to deliver. Well, this NATO summit is also, to me, very significant. Not only that I'm here, my first NATO summit, but that it is in Chicago, here, and that is a symbol of the most important link in nation. This is the transatlantic link. It is essential, and it has to be kept as the most important bridge. You can see all the numbers. Probably you know that more than 50% of the world trade is still between America and Europe. Probably you know that more than 50% from the world GDP is created by America and Europe. And that link is of life importance. It will be kept. And as a president, I will be also very active on Bulgarian-American, European-American relationships. The Chicago Summit is, of course, to me, a very successful one. We took some important decisions. You know that we decided about the interim capability of the missile defense. This is important. This is a defensive strategy, but it's important because it confirmed our determination of course, to defend collectively our territories. And it is also a project which was very effectively executed. It is a huge success, and we will work hard this interim capability to be expanded to a full capability together with our friends in NATO. Also, the decisions we took today will shape definitely the future of NATO, will change the way we work and the way we fund and the way we operate, because we adopted today the NATO Force 2020 strategy. And that is a long-term strategy, and everybody was clearly supporting and saying, this is a good one, we'll stay to it. So, also we discussed a lot of issues about Afghanistan yesterday and today, and that was a very important meeting. Everyone said clearly, in together, out together. Security is not just an issue of Afghanistan. Peace, democracy, security in Afghanistan is an issue of world importance. And all the allies were very clear on that. We will stay there, supporting, training after 2014, but we will be there as a helping hand, as someone who will make sure that what our soldiers, what our armies did in Afghanistan, together, a family of more than 50 countries in the world, will be a success. And we will be helping also our friends in Afghanistan on this. Also, we confirmed the funding sources. All the countries were brave, strong, and there is a clear vision, but also there are clear sources of funding. And this makes us so comfortable. It's not just political common wording. There is money, there are experts, there are people, there is a plan. We will perform. We truly support, of course, the new idea which came a couple of years ago. It was broadly discussed today and yesterday, and that is the Smart Defense Initiative. The only problem with the Smart Defense Initiative, if I have to be very honest with you, is that it came because of the crisis. But good ideas are born in difficult moments. And strong partners, world leaders, are those who learn in difficult moments how to improve, how to get more effective, how to lead. And as you know, every crisis is a period of time where you program not just what is going to happen before the crisis and after but what will happen when the next crisis comes. So what was very important for us is that the Smart Defense Initiative, addressing the crisis, is much more effective and a bright mechanism which makes countries focus, but on the other side, cooperate. If I have to tell you the truth about my region, a couple of years ago, Balkan countries are a symbol, unfortunately, of a past which is rich of conflicts. My country was the first one in the region 20 years ago. We just said to all the other neighbors, forget about the past. Let's get together. Let's be good neighbors. Let's coordinate. Let's bring fences and tensions down and be great friends and neighbors. And now the NATO initiative Smart Defense is giving us a broad horizon and a bright new idea. And this is not just being neighbors, but sharing your common region, sharing your capabilities, focusing and sharing. As you know, in the world, there is no country which is strong in everything. And the world is a chain. The world is an integrity. And NATO is all about being integrated. My country was always weak when it was alone. And it gets stronger when it's integrated. So the smart defense will bring us together with other countries in the region to share resources and invest in common capabilities. And of course, as I mentioned very quickly, the Bulgarian expertise in NATO. Bulgaria is a country which just in 20 years participated in an amazing transformation process. 20 years ago, that was socialism, communism, whatever you call it. That was a socialist economy. And just within 20 years, we managed to shift with brave decisions, with hard decisions, with a lot of work, to a market-based economy, democracy, European member, NATO member, and a very effective and trusted partner in Afghanistan, Libya, and many other operations. And that's the point about our NATO membership. We would like that the doors will be open for other countries to come. We will support them, we will help them, because the history of my country shows that showing the purpose and the goal of integrating in NATO motivated, transformed completely, and created a new army and a new society with brand new priorities and capabilities. If you look at the numbers now, Bulgarians are the most pro-European nation now, which is not so probably modern, but 82% of Bulgarians really are pro-European and pro-NATO, because we have seen, we have touched the results of this transformation. And we wish that to many other countries in the region, we will help them, we will guide them, and we're also grateful to other countries which are guiding us and helping us. So the open door policy is an important motivation tool for countries to get together in this great family. So I'm ready to answer all the questions. I'm happy that I'm with you. I'm sure that any one of you in the future, in the next months, years, will be passing around NATO countries. Bulgaria is one of them. It's a beautiful, small country in a great location, just between east, west, north, south. And the doors of the presidency are open for young people. My team has been completely changed in the presidency. I think the previous president, on average, employed people above 50, 55. I managed to drop that about 32, 33 years. It means that a lot of young people are now in the Bulgarian presidency, and not because I'm just willing to improve some statistics, but it is because young people are free, because young people have their life in front of them, which means they care. They're motivated, they work hard, and they care about their own future. And this is what we're willing to achieve at the Bulgarian presidency, but generally giving the chance for young people to lead. Thank you very much.
So you take the one, right. Ladies and gentlemen, I'm Troels Frøning, Secretary General of the Atlantic Treaty Association. Mr. President, when listening to you behind the curtain, this was an optimistic message. I think it's during the last 3 days we've had heavy discussions on difficult problems, and not to say that you did not mention the difficult problems, but your approach gave a strong sense of optimism coming from a country which is an anchor in its region when it comes certainly to regional security, but also to the kind of example it can set for others. But let me now take one of the unfinished chapters in the Healing of Europe, and you know what I would like to discuss as the first question. There were elections in Serbia recently, I think we can say. And I know your country has a special role and has taken upon itself responsibility for supporting Serbia on its way into NATO and the EU. Would you like to comment on that?
Absolutely. Well, elections take place. They're coming, they're going. We do hope that every nation is sincere in her long-term priorities and direction. And we do hope and we're sure that our friends in Serbia are willing to accelerate their development and transition to being a member of NATO and European Union. If you look at the new political, party and the new political leader coming in Serbia, even himself, he made its transition. So we're optimistic. Together we shared with our friends from Croatia and in the region our full support. And we are sure that Serbia in the next months, with our help, will move to the right direction. They will get a lot of support in Europe, and they will get a lot of support also in the NATO family. So we are optimistic.
Well, Mr. President, that's a good note to start upon. I now call on representatives from our audience, so please come up here and state your name and your affiliation, please.
Thank you very much. My name is Corina Murafa. I'm a Young Atlanticist from Romania, neighboring country. Your Excellency, thank you very much for your intervention and for your positive message. My question relates to a topic that has recently emerged on the NATO agenda, namely energy security. And as we all know, in Eastern Europe, in our countries, it is dealt with, this topic, a lot from a very Cold War rhetoric perspective, in a way. So I was wondering if you could comment how Bulgaria addresses and strengthens the transatlantic partnership by ensuring energy security, perhaps also in light of the recent moratorium on shale gas in Bulgaria. Thank you very much.
Bulgaria is a clear example of a country which was dependent on one pipe and one source of energy. And that created problems. Remember that in 2008 there was a very strong, difficult and a very cold winter in Bulgaria and in Romania. And exactly in this cold winter, Russia and Ukraine had been fighting about gas pipes, and the Russians decided to stop the train and gas deliveries to Bulgaria. So my country was left in cold for a couple of weeks because it was depending on only one pipe and one supplier. And this is now to be changed. As a president, I got the trust from Bulgarian people. I was elected because I promised that we will move into energy efficiency, energy liberalization, and energy independence and diversification. We started immediately a lot of activities. We are now so grateful to our friends in Romania, as we hope that in a couple of weeks we will start a gas interconnector between Bulgaria and Romania. Mm-hmm. It has been moved in a very high speed, and this is all about being a family and sharing common resources and priorities. We're starting to Greece. I've been now negotiating with the president of Turkey just an hour ago. And of course, we are planning another gas connection to Serbia. It is all about making sure that you have alternatives. Bulgaria also started, and we are very happy that huge world giants participate in a new concession for a gas, but on a regular technology-based gas concessions on the Black Sea shelf. This is what also Romania is doing. So we hope that we will find enough gas, and this will help us, of course, a lot. The concession is ongoing, and in August it will be end of phase 1, where the Bulgarian government will decide who will be the partner. World-leading companies like ExxonMobil, Total, OMV, and many others participate. Talking about shale gas, Bulgarian society was very clear on that, and it is good that we have NGOs, we have people who know what they want. There was a discussion, there was a real energy coming bottom up, and a Bulgarian parliament adopted a decision not to go for a shale gas, but to go for gas on a regular basis, and this is what is going to happen on the Black Sea coast.
So talking about energy, do you see a development of a Black Sea consortium in a way, or how is the role of Bulgaria?
We are very optimistic. We need a world leading partner for the gas resources. We are almost sure they will be uncovered in the Black Sea shelf, but we need a world technology and a partner because it's a deep sea. It's a special technology which has to be used. And this technology is now available. And what is also very good, that the world is developing in a way that those technologies are now also cheaper, not just available, but cheaper. So Bulgaria can really be in a good position, and we are very optimistic. First results we expect at the end of this year and the beginning of the next year. We hope that if we find resources, they will be operational and supplying us in 2015. And let me give you a number. Do you know how much is the price we pay in Bulgaria for a gas of 1,000 cubic meters? It's $600. Do you know what is the price in America? It's 100.
Mm-hmm.
So Bulgaria is paying 6 times more because it depends on one pipe. Do you think that this is related to security? I think yes. Do you think that Bulgarian companies and factories who might choose and come in Bulgaria are in an equal position because if they're positioned in Germany, they will pay 300? Yes, but on the other side, Bulgaria has a lot of other advantages. We're using it. But anyhow, this is a disadvantage.
Yeah,
and we need to work on this.
Of course.
Liberal markets, and make sure that you create a competitive, productive environment, and then leave companies to do their best.
A very illustrative example. Thank you. The next speaker here, please.
Thank you, Mr. President. Iveta Chernova from Bulgaria. It's a pleasure to have you here. You mentioned trade as one of the fundamental aspects of the alliance. And I was wondering, recently you just visited together with U.S. Ambassador James Warlick, who I believe is also facilitating the process. You visited Google in the Silicon Valley. So within that context of trade and investment, securing and reinforcing that alliance framework, I was wondering what came out of those meetings, if you could share with us, of course.
Well, you know, to be very honest with you, economic development is the base of every other development of a nation and a country. And here is the point. Many different politicians now talk about grout. They spell the magic word grout. But they believe that they can purchase grout. They can continue pumping public money in order to produce grout. But that's your problem, of young people. Because those mountains of debt should be paid back by you. And this is a very important moment of the history of our civilization, I would say. Because grout, to me, as someone who comes from the business, who never got easy money immediately and easy profits tomorrow, never gambling, Bulgaria was never doing that. Bulgaria was working hard to succeed, and Bulgaria is happy because we're not poisoned by all those too creative mechanisms and cheap money. The problem here is that now the cheap money is gone. You need to work hard. Another problem is that the money could be directed just knocking on one computer button. You have hundreds of billions, today are here, tomorrow there. So what do you do to position yourself, knowing that this money is going to choose your country only if you create a long-term sustainable environment, because the cheap money is gone. Everybody was believing Daimler will connect with Chrysler, billions will marry billions, and this will create more billions. It didn't happen. So my imagination is not fired by billions. My imagination is very much focusing on projects who make sense, knowing that there is no easy profit to be made, but on a long term you can take the right decisions now, and the next generation could be upgrading and could be free to decide. So this is about Bulgaria. First of all, I will tell you 3 important things. First of all, Bulgaria is going to work hard also in the European context to make sure that the future growth is not going to be based on increasing the mountains of debt in order to, in a way, produce growth today for tomorrow, but in the long term create a huge problem. Bulgaria is going to point in the clear direction that we need to take conscious decisions, also keeping in mind the next generation. Next generation should be free to have their own priorities and being capable of funding them, which means that government should reduce debt, not produce debt on cost of next generation. This is point 1. And guess what? Bulgaria is a unique country in the world because our public debt was 75% from GDP 10 years ago. Now it's 16%. 16. It's only 6 billion euros. We can pay it back. This is zero. And this is a major advantage for the young Bulgarians, I believe, because there is no debt. Another advantage is that the country is stable, because on the long term, young people do not have the burdens of mountains of debt to be paid in the future. So we believe that investments will come in because there is no easy money in stable countries on a long term, offering sustainable development. I'm not in front of you with the pink glasses. My country is not perfect. My country is the poorest country in the club of the richest, which is the European Union. But we're going to change that, because many countries need to take drastic measures to reduce the mountains of debt. And we will be free now. And this is the point about the new concept. We call it Soviet Tech, e-government, whatever you call it. You're young, bright guys. You need to know that the professions of the future are all related to technology knowing, engineering, mathematics. And the future of industries, those who will have the high salaries, are those who will create innovative small and medium-sized and big enterprises, which will position themselves in the road of the industries with a high added value. The third industrial revolution is now starting. Internet is going to reach every single machine. And this is about our plan in Bulgaria, together with great friends like America, Israel, and the European Union, to position ourselves as a country which is a center of innovations, especially in the ICT and the life sciences. This is a long term and a long way ahead, but we are ready to start. We organize the funding. We do have that priority. We work hard. Because of that, I met Bill Gates, I met John Chambers, and many other visionaries, and we are trying to create a good family. It's all about the NATO family too, so that Bulgaria could play a regional role into the global family of innovative companies.
Thank you for this intervention here on the whole new dimension in your country as you presented. We have time for one more question. I know you have to leave a bit earlier, Mr. President, so yes, please.
Antis Spridzans, Young Atlanticist from Latvia. I have one small question regarding, I wanted to ask if you have your opinion regarding the South Stream gas pipeline and its effect on the energy security in your region.
Yeah, I was very clear. We are not happy with Bulgaria being dependent only on pipe. So this is a new pipe, and we are going to support it. Bulgaria is working hard. We declared the South Stream as a national priority, and we do hope that until end of this year it will get construction permit, and it's part of the Bulgarian territory. The company has been set up, negotiations are ongoing, so we do support that project. We also, of course, support all other projects who will be passing in our neighboring countries or passing through Bulgaria, as we'll learn from the past how bad it is to depend on one pipe. We would like to see as much as possible passing through our country.
Mr. President, I know you are up for an interview on CNN shortly, so we will have to stop the session now. On behalf of the whole group of Young Atlanticists, I'd like to thank you. I'd like to thank you especially for, as I already said at the start, of giving this constructive, dynamic view of the possibilities that your country sees in the difficult surroundings, the difficult challenges that are facing you. But it shows the perception I personally have of Bulgaria as an anchor country for development of the region. So we wish you all the best of luck in your country for reaching out, because after all, this is security, everything.
Thank you very much. Dear friends, thank you.
Thank you, Mr. President. Thank you. Yeah, I thank you.
Thank you.